And hey guys, this is Aegis, and this is an exhibition match between ICES and ROOThmp. This is from the UMBC games. Of course, UMBC did take it 3-0. Whoops, I just spoiled everything for everyone that hasn't seen the match already, but that's okay. I'll put a little spoiler warning tag. And ROOThmp is playing sort of for UMBC as of this point. I guess he's more playing for himself as of this point. ICES is from UMBC playing for himself. In this case, when Calc is Grandmaster, I don't know what they're talking about. I just popped into this conversation. I was trying to get my recording to work. ICES throwing up his barracks at the front. ROOThmp going for his gateway at a very standard timing. Chrono Boost going down on the probes. Assimilator coming up for ROOThmp, going to be grabbing the gas. Looks like he will be building a pylon in the backside. Probe is now scouting in the right direction. We'll be able to see exactly what ICES is going for. And the barracks will be finishing up shortly. The gas is on the way. Probe's now getting into the gas. SCV does see exactly what everything is going on in the Protoss base. Looks like that SCV may actually go down. The SCV is trying to run away as quickly as possible. Looks like another SCV does pick up the slack over there. We'll be able to finish building that barracks. Looks like the probe trying to chase after that SCV. Of course, SCVs do not regenerate, and that SCV has a long ways to go before it's going to be able to get away, unless that probe does exactly that. We have the first Marine popping out. Command Center has begun to morph into an orbital command, and our Protoss player is getting a cybernetics core as usual. Second barracks coming up for ICES. Another gateway coming up for ROOThmp. Pylon in the backside in the gas vent, just in case of any warp prism parked in that location. And we should be seeing the warp gate research getting started. The probe is scouting over here just in case of any sort of action. Tech lab getting constructed by ICES. He's going for another barracks. I said that already. We'll see if he decides to go for 2 barracks pressure. The Marine has scooted out over to the watchtower. Looks like a pylon coming down for ROOThmp. We'll see if ICES does spot it and take it out eventually. The warp gate research is getting chrono boosted out right now. ROOThmp getting a little bit supply blocked. That pylon will soon be complete. Looks like the Marine going to be going after that single probe. Looks like he does not get it. Reactor on the way on the second barracks, and a Ghost Academy has been started. So a Ghost Rush from ICES. So we're going to be seeing some damage dealt in the early parts of this game. The sentries will get EMP'd, and that's going to be able to do a ton of damage, ripping through everything. I'm not a PvT expert, but this is a good build. And those EMPs can actually end the game if you get it down correctly. Cloaking actually coming up for ICES. So this is going to be a lot of damage dealt. I can't see it any other way. I can't really see ICES missing the EMP. And it's going to be those units going down. He is getting cloak first, but even that is good. He can cloak the ghost, run in there, and just to take advantage of a Protoss that has not gone for a robotics facility. There's no robotics facility anywhere. The second gas is only coming up. And a couple of stalkers up at the front are going to be able to do some damage to the bunker. Getting repaired, a single Marauder. Actually, it's the supply depot that's getting repaired. And ROOThmp, seeing the bunker, does know something is going to be going on. Repair Imna, says Kinematics. We do have the Ghost Academy now finishing up the cloak. Ghost is complete, and we should be seeing a push shortly. Stimpack is also on the way. The probe will also sustain some damage shortly. And ROOThmp is going to be falling back to his base. He does have a robotics facility on the way. I don't know what they're talking about. What's Ren Fest? I don't know what they're talking about. Anyways, ROOThmp is going to be in a lot of trouble as this continues. He is going to lose a Zealot over here. And Isis is going to continue to advance across the map. He does have the Ghost out on the field. It also does have Cloak. And we should be seeing an Observer started in just a moment. And the Ghost is going to be advancing in here. And Cloak going down, he's going to be able to snipe away a ton of those probes. Going to be getting right into the main. And, oh no. Ghosts are able to do so much damage against probes so quickly. And ROOThmp bringing his forces back over here. It looks like a bunch of probes are going to be trying to run away. A second Ghost cloaking and going to be able to do a ton of damage. Looks like the Ghosts are going to continue to target those probes down. And also some damage dealt to the units over here. This build is retarded. The Ghost's going to be able to do so much damage. Actually just pelting away a couple of the Stalkers there as well. And it looks like the Observer does pop out and one Ghost does fall. Second Ghost going to be running away as quickly as possible. This bleep only works on Danny. And it looks like he will have the Ghost out fairly early for those EMPs. I'm actually surprised he didn't go over there, throw the EMP down, and actually just crush through this army. And they're just BMing so you right now. And another Observer popping out for our Protoss player. A bunker coming up by over here. And let's take a look at the workers kill tab, actually. ICE is killing 16 workers already, and that's going to be able to secure him a pretty good lead, especially once he drops those mules. 31 probes, drones. There are no drones in this game, trust me. 31 STVs to the 30 probes of his opponent. Looks like the chrono boost being used to get those units out pretty quickly. And we also have the Robotics Bay Colossus Den on the way for our Protoss player. ICE is getting his starport up. He also is going to be able to lift the factory, switch it over to the reactor, get those medevacs and Vikings out onto the field fairly quickly. The factory will be expended for some scouting action. Supply depot coming up over here. I do like the follow through though. I like the entire build. I think if he used it, well, I mean, even if he didn't use it that way, he would have done a ton of damage. I love the way he used it. That's innovative thinking there. It's not exactly something that you would lose to in consecutive games, but it's always a good play there. Looks like the Hellion will get canceled, and the factory will continue to float away here. And ICE is playing BM this game. It looks like a couple of medevacs out on the field, as well as a second barracks, and we should be seeing a drop. There's the medevacs getting loaded up. 2 full medevacs of Stim MNM. We're going to see if this is able to do a lot of damage. A nuclear missile on the way. And the medevacs are actually going to run straight into that pylon. We'll see if HMP reacts quickly enough. And that pylon will be falling and actually supply blocking our Protoss player. He's not going to be able to warp in any additional reinforcements. And this Terran army is going to be able to do a lot of work. One load up over there. And it looks like the medevac is going to be scooting by and will get taken out. But the second medevac now dropping at the natural expansion can actually stim and take down this robotics bay. And that will deny Colossus production for a long period of time. The Colossus trying to get in here. It looks like a load up will prevent the robotics bay from falling down. Third command center now on the way for ISIS. The nuclear missile is complete. We'll see when that decides to go down. And a Ghost has cloaked, and it does get taken out. Oh no. We'll see if he's able to do some additional damage in just a moment. And Engineering Bay coming up for ISIS, going to be able to grab some upgrades for his M&M. We also have another Ghost moving out. The Observer does see everything, and there is an Observer back at home. Another drop over here, going to continue to try harassing our Protoss player. ISIS Ghost is going to be advancing over here. He is going to run straight into that Protoss army, easily getting taken out. ISIS throwing a lot of units away. Penguin with a couple of dots. And we have the Terran army now retreating back as quickly as possible. There is one ghost over here. Couple of units will get fried, and we should be seeing some EMPs shortly. The Colossus now working on the high ground over here. A couple of Vikings over there will be able to work down a couple of those Colossus. He does not want to lose those Colossi. Almost taking one of those Colossus down, and we have additional Vikings on the way queued up in that production queue over there. We also have a refinery coming up. The Terran army does have those EMPs at the ready. We should be seeing those EMPs go down. Nuclear missile gonna get launched. Stimpack going down on everything. Looks like the Ghost did get taken out, and ISIS will be falling shortly to ROOThmp. The Colossus doing tons of work on those SCVs, and it looks like this base over here will also get taken out shortly. And Mike deserves to lose with this build. So BM. It looks like the Vikings and a couple of those Marauders will be able to take down the remaining Colossus, and the Vikings also landing down, trying to do some damage against those Stalkers. But Stalkers actually lull at Vikings. And yeah, he did waste a lot of ghosts. No EMPs happened. We have an orbital command coming up for ISIS, and it looks like the entire Terran army has come over here, SCVs and all, going to be able to try to surround this Protoss army and take it out. But ROOThmp is in such a great position right now. He's going to be able to continue macroing here. He does have his third base up and mining. First one to lose buys drinks. We already won. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And ROOThmp gonna fall back, continuing to macro here. We should be seeing yet another very strong push shortly. We did see a drop in the main, but I completely ignored it because it was somewhat irrelevant. As of this point, it's really hard to say that our Terran player is actually gonna win. And it looks like one Zealot with without charge is gonna get taken out over here. Actually, there's no Marauder slow. That's interesting. And our Protoss army warping in a couple additional sentries. Concussive shell finally on the way. Ground weapons level 1 for ROOThmp. Observer still scouting out everything that our Terran player is doing. Mules are. And we have additional SCVs coming out. Vikings now coming back. And they were talking about ISIS actually having higher income. That's very interesting. Those mules actually doing work. Wow. So although ROOThmp looks very far ahead, this is by no means over. We do have another push coming out with those Colossus. A couple of sentries as well as the Stalkers. We'll see if it is able to take on this Terran army. The Vikings are gathering up. He needs to get those crucial shots down on those Colossi without losing too many Vikings. And here comes the Stimpack down from the Terran army. Oh, a ton of units getting cut off over there. It looks like the Vikings are going to try to work on those Colossus from the rear. And a lot of Zealots actually getting taken out. ISIS doing a lot of work here, but it looks like his Terran army is just a little bit too small to be able to hold this off. Force field going down on the ramp as well. And ROOThmp is going to be backing up and waiting for some additional reinforcements. We also have the Psionic Storm on the way. A drop-off by ISIS is trying to target down this Nexus. We'll see if he's able to do it. A couple of Stalkers do reinforce. Looks like ROOThmp is going to be attacking with his probes as well, flooding everything in, and a load up from that medevac. No blink is done, so that medevac will continue to be able to be annoying later on in this game. This game lasted a little bit longer than I expected. Couple of mules coming down at this expansion over here. Let's take a look at the income once again. ISIS is actually still ahead in terms of income. That is ridiculous. And we should be seeing the Protoss army trying to push yet again shortly. He is now up to 1-0 upgrades. We have Terran at 1-0 as well. Has begun the +1 armor. Factory has landed over here. Can make some Hellions. We'll see if he decides to do that. And the Observer, actually, this Observer has been so cost effective. It's been seeing everything that ISIS is going on, has been doing. And, yeah, so we're going to be hanging out for a little while. Looks like the Protoss army was trying to defend yet another drop. Those drops have actually been keeping ISIS in this game for a little bit longer than expected. Additional ghosts out in this army as well. A couple of crucial EMPs can actually wipe out a Protoss army. So ISIS is actually in a pretty okay position. What's up with his non-mining probes? Where are the non-mining probes? There's a lot of non-mining probes over here. Looks like we have the attack over here. Looks like the sentry is advancing forward. No EMPs actually. And all the Colossus actually falling. There's only one extremely hurt Colossus over there. And the Ghost needs to throw down a really big EMP. That's going to be able to do so much damage. EMP going down on the entire Protoss ball. It looks like the Terran army is going to be able to advance over here. And a ton of units getting wiped out. ISIS securing a huge food lead as of this point. Wow, the chat is going crazy now. Thinking that ISIS has actually lost the game. Looks like Terrans have proved him wrong. Once again, Stimpack going down yet again. This is a severely overstimmed army. Looks like the Vikings also floating overhead, gonna be able to take out all of those units. No Storm GG. Pew pew, says Zinger XPN. Looks like the production facilities are also under siege. Additional units are gonna be warped in over here. Possibly a couple of Archons. The medevacs healing up a vast majority of those units as well. A load up by that medevac will be able to harass a couple of those expansions over there. Archons now on the way. And this force over here is continuing to get healed up. The Zealots charging in here. The Ghosts not quite throwing down any EMPs, but ISIS has still secured a very strong lead. The Vikings landing down, going to be able to take out one Archon. Second Archon is going to go down as well. A drop is headed over here. Going to be able to take out a couple of units here. The Zealots and the Probes all getting pulled off the line. Getting loaded up as well. One Marauder left over. I'm going to get healed up over here. And another Terran army, of course, is ready to go. Vikings also surviving that battle. Will be able to retreat. And ROOThmp is looking pretty bad actually right now. We have ISIS with the 1-1 upgrade. More Marines and Marauders advancing across the field. We'll see if ROOThmp is able to warp in enough units to be able to do enough damage. He doesn't actually have a Storm ready. Because the Templar don't have enough energy, I feel like they should get the Kydarian Amulet upgrade back. But no telling what Blizzard is going to do in the next patch to hurt Protoss. We have additional units running in here. EMP going down on all of the Templar. No Storms for ROOThmp. The Stim Marauders and all of those Marauders and all of those Vikings are going to be able to do tons of work here. The medevacs also healing all the units up very quickly. It looks like this expansion will be falling shortly. The Probes getting pulled off the line, going to be hiding in the corner. The Marines and Marauders stimming and running forth once again. Additional units at the ready for ISIS. The Zealots again are going to be able to rip apart all of those Marauders. It looks like ROOThmp does hold. I really wonder how long he's going to be able to sustain this though. There's this expansion over here that I feel like ISIS should be going for. Try to take that out. Instead of just trying to go for the throat over here. Additional Zealots getting warped in. The Probes are going to be transferring out of here. 8 spines in every base. I'm probably missing a lot of drops here. But you guys can check that out on the mini-vamp. 5th base coming up for ISIS. Still ahead, 40 food. And another drop coming down over here with a couple of Vikings. They will be able to lift off in just a second. There's the liftoff from those Vikings. We'll be able to retreat out of here without taking too much damage. And gonna be chilling out for a while. So we'll just chill here for a while and see exactly what happens. ROOThmp warping in additional Templars here and Zealots. It looks like he will be going for a little bit of a push. A couple of Ghosts at the ready. Does have enough for that EMP round, and here comes the push forward. A couple of Marines will be retreating over here, and it looks like we should be seeing a couple of EMPs in just a second. No EMPs, actually. The Ghost getting healed by those medevacs. That Ghost actually doing quite a bit of work, continuing to get healed over here. Storm's going down, and it looks like the EMPs did hit quite a few of those Stalkers. Storm's not quite enough to do enough damage to allow ROOThmp to advance. He's fallen down to 74 food. We'll see if he is able to continue to macro. There's yet another drop over here. Ice is doing tons of work with these Marauders. 8 kills on one, 10 kills, 7 kills on yet another. All of the probes getting worked down over here. The Vikings, Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts now advancing, going to be going for the kill. A couple of Zealots getting warped in. We'll see if he's able to do enough damage to this army to be able to hold once again, but it looks like this impact going down will be able to clean up those Zealots very quickly. And the medevacs in the air healing everything up. GG, well played from ROOThmp. ISIS takes this game on MLG Metalopolis. So this was a game between Johns Hopkins University and UMBC just for fun. This is Aegis signing off.